here on the YouTubes. Are you smash liking and subscribing? You better. All right, it's the WrestleZone Wrap Up for a Tuesday. I have to sing all of it, so you pay attention when the video starts. A lot of breaking news to get into. WWE Thunderdome is on the move. They're bringing all the Zoom rooms that they can around the wrestling ring to another potential arena. And we'll talk about that a little bit. We also have news about WWE Raw ratings and the all-anticipated AEW video game. Find more about that. By the time you watch that, you may even know what that game is going to look like. All right, so WrestleZone.com will have all that information for you later on today. Quick, snappy show to get into with Mr. Robert DeFelice down in Tampa Bay, where things are still crazy with the coronavirus. Very crazy up here with the coronavirus as well. Robert.
Yeah, it's got a little ASMR in the background. It's a beautiful rainy day here in Florida. And it looks like WWE doesn't want to be leaving the state of Florida either, Kevin.
No. Breaking news, potential new home for WWE Thunderdome. Now, we've known this for quite some time, and if you've been reading the story, we've been following it pretty closely at WrestleZone. And through various industry sources, it appears to be true. The WWE Thunderdome could be heading to Tampa Bay. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE officials are exploring the possibility of setting up the WWE Thunderdome at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. WWE's current contract with the Amway Center in Orlando is set to expire soon, and they're looking at open venues that can carry a long-term residency for the setup they have, all that big production, all the introductions, all of it. Meltzer noted that WWE is looking at other indoor venues in the region, but Tropicana Field was discussed as one possible option during the pandemic. Tropicana Field is a domed stadium that has been home to the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team since 1998. One interesting bit of trivia is that the Tropicana Field has also been known as the Thunderdome, using the name in 1993, so 1996 when it was the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning as well. WWE contracted for the Amway Center until November 24th. Very interesting stuff. Thank you to John Alba of Sports 360 for some information on this as well. The NBA looking to get back into the Amway Center with Orlando Magic sometime next month, as well as the ECHL Orlando Solar Bears, which I never heard of before until I started covering this story.
I love that name. I think that's an awesome name for a hockey team in the Sunshine State. This is fine. I don't want to go too deep into this because it is what it is. It's another venue to host a Thunderdome. WWE said on their media call that they would be in a Thunderdome-like setting for at least the foreseeable future. So, Thunderdome it is.
Thunderdome it is. It's still challenging. I did not see WWE getting away from the Thunderdome, especially before WrestleMania anytime soon. Obviously, the fluid time frame of when WWE will be in front of real crowds depends on everything else going on in the world, guys. WWE's not going to be. Here's the thing. I think WWE could be one of those first things that is in front of real crowds. We could say that much, can't we? I think they would be the first one to jump on that before anybody else.
AEW already beat them.
I'm talking full-fledged arena crowds.
I think AEW still beats them.
You think AEW still beats them? Yeah,
I think so.
New Japan beat all of them.
Well, you know why? Because they did it right.
Japan did it right. It's a different thing there. Kevin Durgan said, bring the Thunderdome to Utica, New York. We're bored. I don't know if it's going up to Utica.
I promise you, as a former resident of the city of Syracuse, no, they're not bringing the Thunderdome to Utica, New York. Nobody wants to go to. I'll just give you a source. Look at the temperature. Nobody wants to go to below zero weather for the Thunderdome. All right, I want to feel the heat inside Thunderdome, not frozen. You don't want to be frozen in the Thunderdome.
Well, yeah. So we already have people talking about the vaccine and different things like that. Listen, there's nothing we really have to talk about with the vaccine beyond what is already presently known. The time frame for that was that most people would get that at some point in the late spring. That's what it's looking right now, based on the vaccine that has been approved and is believed to get emergency authorization sometime within the next 6 weeks. And most of the people that'll get that will be in the medical field first, then first responders, different things. Then it gets to the common man, all right, the Dusty Rhodes of the world, like you and me, Robert, sometime in the late spring.
Well, hold on a second. Dusty Rhodes would have had almost immediate access to the vaccine because
how would Dusty Rhodes? Telling me?
Because he had a lot of money, is what I'm saying, Kevin. I know he portrayed the common man, but there is a reason that his son Cody likes the finer things in life.
Yeah, well, we do have to think about that. Are there people in the entertainment world, in the wrestling world, in the sports world that are going to get access to this thing before regular people do? I would assume.
Sports world already had access to faster testing and faster everything.
Yeah. They were paying for it because they're paying a lot of money for it.
Again, you got the money, you can get the supplies. That's a horrible way to deal with a virus, but that is neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we can't confirm on this. Just following up on the news from yesterday, we don't want anyone running off. We can speculate about this as much as we can, but we already have, so we'd just be beating a dead horse. Pfizer, one of the large pharmaceutical companies in this race, this warp speed race to create an effective vaccine for it, has perfected one that they believe is 90% effective. But rolling this thing out is just going to take months. So it's just a matter of just when, not if. So we're at the when stage, which is good. This is a good story. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel excited about, guess what, guys? At some point in 2021, you're going to be able to see live wrestling again. That I can say that. Now, are you going to get it as soon as you want? I don't know. Could it be near the end of the year? Probably. Will it be in stadiums or arenas? I don't know. But I think real fans will be able to buy tickets to a lot of wrestling shows at some point before the end of next year. Is that fair to say? I think that's a fair assumption on how things are looking right now.
I think so. You know, it's going to happen sooner rather than later because that's just the way the world is moving. But right now, there's only so much we can say because we don't know all that much.
Yeah, we don't know much beyond that, but I do like that people are excited about it. It is something that is a relief. You do know that help is on the way in that regard, but stay disciplined, everybody. Start doing what you can. If you staying home right now and watching wrestling and watching our show is better for the world, do it. Do it. You know what I mean?
That's right. Watching our program is better for the world. Share the link.
Get that hot tag.
That's also better for the world. If you share the link, and if you go to WrestleZone.com, I hear that things might actually go quicker. So go to WrestleZone.com.
No, Robert. The opinions of one Robert D. Felice do not represent those of Mandatory Media or a parent company.
I'm just following up on what you said about this being better for the world.
Yeah, but no, I mean the response within people that I've talked to within the wrestling industry is very positive. And obviously there's an eagerness to get this thing going as fast as it can. But based on sources, and this is direct from Pfizer, them saying it themselves as a company, that they're going to get 20 to 50 million doses to essential workers before the end of the year and 1.3 billion doses within the United States in 2021. So that could be done in stages. Now, the problem is for our friends internationally, there is a distribution center they have in Europe. That could take a while. People, unfortunately, in other hotter regions of the world are going to have a tougher time because moving the vaccine, it's under 70 degrees under zero. Like that's a very, very hard thing to move around. So they're going to have to construct special cases just to move this stuff. Also, it's 2 doses. You get one, and then you have to wait 3 weeks. Then you get another. Then a month after that, you would have your immunity.
What we're saying here is, yes, it's great news. Do not get overexcited. Yeah. It's a long process.
It's a long process. So, I mean, you're looking at 7 weeks just when you get the medication, just to have immunity. So, I mean, if we got this in March, that would still not open up a time frame for a major WWE destination event until sometime in the summer.
Sure. I mean, I'm not putting a hard date on anything.
No.
Because God knows we don't know.
No. And there's so much about this that has changed so quickly. There was hope that we would have a vaccine sometime in the summer, earlier this year, and that was outrageous in some people's eyes. But this has gone so fast, and just kudos to everyone that worked on this. BioNTech, the German company that researched this, did an incredible job. I'm so happy. I've never wanted to buy people a beer more in my life.
Yes, I love that the world is happy.
Yes,
I tweeted on Saturday that I love the news because the news made people happy. However, I think the rose-colored glasses and the effect of good news may make us try to skip to the ending where it's just not possible.
It's just not.
But you know what is possible?
What's that?
Talk about these Raw ratings.
Tell me about these Raw ratings. You got to see them. I haven't seen them yet.
So Raw, despite the fact that from the majority of people that I spoke with, I did not watch the show.
Yeah, I did. Me and John Clark reviewed it last night. It was not the best episode of Raw. There was some great stuff with Ricochet and Ali. I thought that was great. The 6-man main event was good, but there was a lot of it that was kind of slow and draggy.
I'm going to pull the curtain back. When I do the shows on Monday night, that is me voluntarily doing shows on Monday night.
Sure.
And I elected not to watch this show.
No.
Based on everybody that I've spoken to, this show was like a chore. Be that as it may, the numbers are slightly up. They got a 1.689 rating that is up from last week. I think next week is the show to watch. It's to go home to Survivor Series. There's a World Championship match. There's a Tag Team Championship match. That is a show that will move the needle.
And then I also am starting to talk to more people that are watching wrestling on Hulu, watching on demand now. I think television viewing habits have changed really drastically with quarantine and people spending just more time with TV. You know, TV I watch alone is this TV. TV I watch with my husband, my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, this is that TV. So I wonder how WWE is affected by it, especially when they consider how much content they produce on a weekly basis. And then you have the network, you know? So a ton of stuff to look at there. Also, let's look here at AEW games. Now, by the time you get this show, if you're listening or watching on demand, we will know what this game is. I'm getting a phone call about what the game is. No, I'm getting
Kevin is getting a phone call about what the game is because that is how important Kevin is.
No,
as
really?
An individual.
Super Mario is going to be in the game?
Oh, well, Kevin is.
Hang on, wait 1 second. Let me see. Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
Will fight Kenny Omega in the first round of the game. Oh wow. Okay.
Kevin is apparently stating that Sonic the Hedgehog will fight Mario in the opening of the AEW video game. That is not the case.
None of that is true at all.
And here's what I will say. In about 23 minutes, we will know so much more about the future of AEW video games. If you've followed me at all for the last 2 years, you know that wrestling and games are my thing. This is going to be so much fun. I do invite you. I do invite you guys, once you're done here, watch that. And then I will be over on Fightful's YouTube channel with Sean Ross Sapp breaking down everything that we hear. And it's going to be, hopefully, the start of something beautiful. Tony Khan did spill the beans on Saturday's Media Scrum, telling little AJ Awesome, who is an awesome kid, that, hey, there's going to be a general manager video game where you get to do Tony's job. I love EWR simulators, TEW simulators. So this being a thing might be the coolest thing I've heard in a while. And I will say this, if you've scoured around the internet, you may know something already about it. But it looks like...
What is that, Robert?
I will not say it. I will not say it in case it turns out to be fake news. But if that is to be believed, what we saw floating around social media, looks like more than superstars have jumped ship from WWE to All Elite Wrestling.
Oh, so the game may reveal some people that are joining All Elite Wrestling.
No, the game may reflect that some business partners were once working for WWE. And
okay, all right, yeah. Well, that's products. That's product management and different things like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I am excited. I think there will be multiple types of games. I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, and I plan on doing that once we get done with the press conference.
It's a big thing. I think this is one of the biggest things that AEW has done since announcing the deal with TNT. This is bigger than the pay-per-views. I want to say that. This is bigger because, as I've talked about this on the show, video games, there's a lot of people who just play WWE video games and don't watch WWE. Or maybe they just watch the Rumble, or they just, like, how many casual people you know that are casual wrestling fans, but they'll play the heck out of a video game. Like, they'll play the heck out of the games.
I think what we're seeing now in the modern era that some people are even saying, playing the games is what got me into wrestling, which is what made me become a wrestler.
Oh, you talk to any fan under the age of 23, that tends to be the answer. At least 2 out of every 5 fans.
I see, I don't know about that. I think we're looking at the 30s
Yeah.
And because that era of gaming, the Nintendo 64 era, the original PlayStation.
Come on, No Mercy, Revenge.
I think the PS3, PS4 days, as much as I liked them, I didn't really like them. I love the PS3, but the PS4, for the most part, wasn't a great era of games. That is my opinion. If you feel differently, so be it. But I think that older fans, which is why you're seeing the Kenny Omegas take charge of this. Kenny Omega is completely whether he is front and center actually or not is separate from the fact that we see him as front and center because he is the video game guy. He does the One-Winged Angel, which is a Final Fantasy reference. He is video games through and through. I am so excited about this. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say.
I am too. I think WWE is trying to correct course with the 2K20 game that just didn't hit the mark and left fans wanting more and being disappointed by the simulation game. Although the marketing for it was fantastic, and Becky Lynch in the cover and all the different things they did for that.
That was the greatest thing about the game. And to be honest with you, the cover of a video game should not be the greatest thing about a game.
No, but I've also heard great things about Battlegrounds. I've heard great things about Battlegrounds, but I've heard some questionable things.
Battlegrounds would be dope if you unlocked all the characters from the get-go and said, all right, folks, order some pizza, invite your friends, rent this game, and just go nuts. The problem with Battlegrounds is it's bogged down with microtransactions. Now, AEW, obviously they're not going to go, hey, guys, we're releasing our game in December, and we got a ways to go. Because they're doing a console game for next gen. They're not doing PS4, Xbox One. They're doing PS5, Xbox Series X. I'm hoping PC. I have my fingers crossed for a PC release because right now I am more focused on PC gaming than console gaming. But I am hoping that this General Manager game is kind of like the little, hey, that's available next month. Then you can play it on your phones or on your computer and just have fun booking AEW matches.
We have a short episode today, but I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this. Always got to support the troops. WWE has done a big part of that. It's been a big part of their culture.
Yes, wrestling. I love Starship Troopers. You're absolutely right. It's a great movie.
Robert, no, we're not talking about Starship Troopers and your video games and your aliens and stuff. We're talking about real men and women defending the red, white, and blue. WWE Tribute to the Troops could be making a return in 2020. PWI Insider has been reporting that a great deal of discussion has been done within WWE about reviving the annual holiday season special, which tends to be performed in front of military families, either on a military base overseas or, at an arena with military families, if they've been doing in recent years. WWE did host a 2019 event with Marine Corps Station New River and Marine Corps Base in Jacksonville, North Carolina, but opted not to air the show on television. So they did a house show, basically. At the time of the 2019 event, Meltzer reported that WWE and USA Network didn't come to an agreement on airing it as a special. If the event does return, it is unclear where the show could be hosted. WWE Thunderdome is currently at the Amway Center, and the company has not hosted other events. It'd be odd how they could do a Tribute to the Troops show without actually physically having the troops there, correct?
It's not necessary. And I'm going to go a step further here. I love the troops. I love America. Don't care. Love America. You need to do a first responders show.
But I mean, yeah, I do think a show like that could be done, and you can have the troops there too.
I wasn't even aware that Tribute to the Troops wasn't a thing last year. I could swear that they did the show, but apparently
they did the show, but they didn't agree to air it on television.
But I think that would be a cool thing to do. You could probably cram some troops in the Capitol Wrestling Center, paint it red, white, and blue, and call it a day.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with that. Those shows are fun. That would probably be the way I go with it. But we'll see where this goes.
Fight for first responders.
At the end of the day, these shows are not. They're fun, but they're nothing to write home about.
It's a glorified house show in a good way, and I mean that in the most pleasant way. It's a wrestling show with a charitable purpose.
Yeah, they're just super everybody is happy. USA Christmas, it fills your heart with glee.
And they always have a musical guest on it to play a song or sing the national anthem.
Yeah, I mean, Florida will probably sing Good Feeling for the millionth time.
All right, we'll let you get to it. Also, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we're going to include our interview here in just a minute with John Ryman. John Ryman is the former head writer, former head honcho from The Tonight Show on NBC, former writer for WWE. This discussion is awesome. I really, really think you guys should stick around with this. If you're with us on the podcast feed, you're going to hear that in the same download. If you're with us on YouTube and Facebook, go check out this interview. This is a long-form discussion with someone who worked very closely with the top people in the wrestling world. This is an incredible interview. This is leading up to his new tabletop game called Antisocial Skills, which is
like that is me. That he based the game on me.
Oh, Robert, you need this game.
I don't know why I wasn't invited to this interview about a board game called Antisocial Skills, because that's just basically who I am as a human. But be that as it may, this is a great interview that Kevin did with a fellow comedian. So
and this guy worked at the top levels of it. So it's about 45 minutes. We were only supposed to go 20. So this is a really, really great discussion. So if you're in the podcast feed, you're going to get that now. But if you're with us on video through Facebook or YouTube, just go look for it in the feed. It's there. And we have some great stuff coming out this week on WrestleZone.com. A lot of special interviews. I know we're talking to someone who's going to be doing something very funny on Fight TV this week with Talkin' Shop-A-Mania. Looking forward to that interview with Gallows. I believe we have that coming in a couple of days.
The good brother and the torturer. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But listen, Talkin' Shop-A-Mania is weird. It's fun though. Crack open a beer. Get ready for this Saturday, get ready for Talking Shop Mania 2. It'll be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But
definitely.
we gotta go.
We gotta get this AEW thing.
I never pull Kevin, but we gotta go. So follow me on Twitter @DudeFelice. Check out Fightful in about, I'm assuming, half an hour, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and Sean will be breaking down everything AEW games related. But also, we got a lot of stuff on the podcast feed, so there is all those interviews. And we're going to have an Impact wrap-up show with many of us. It'll be me and Dominic D'Angelo and Bill Pritchard and Kevin Kellum. We're going to do that. We're going to have some fun. Mm-hmm. And Kevin, tell them where to find you.
You can find me busy this Thursday with AAW Alive on Fight TV, $12.99. Incredible independent pro wrestling action. Mance Warner taking on Hakeem Zayn. You may know him as Roha Raju. A grudge match between the AEW Heavyweight Champion and the AEW Heritage Champion. Who will be the true gold belt man coming out of Thursday? Get the pay-per-view, $13. It'll be worth it, and I'll be on it. So go check that out. Also, you can hear me on this podcast feed, a lot of content there, and hear me on 101 WKQX, streaming anywhere in the world, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff, great alternative rock music. We're giving away $500 on the KQX Morning Crew, so listen to that. Tag your it. Go to 101WKQX.com and just drop the new Foo Fighters video there, too, so check that out. All right, we got to get out of here. We got to go see what this video is going to be like. If you're with us on the podcast feed, enjoy this John